Today I'm going to show you the Ignik Firecan in action, show it as a fire pit, also show it as a grill. I'm going to be cooking a couple burgers on it for dinner tonight, so I just wanted to share that with you, show you that stuff. So if you're looking for, how does it function, how does it work, can you actually cook on it, what does it look like when it's on fire, right? This is the video for you. So if you want to see the Ignik Firecan Deluxe in use and get my final thoughts on it, stay tuned.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip.
All right, guys, so this is the Ignik Firecan. If you want to watch the earlier video that I did that really walks you in detail through all the features, sort of how everything sets up, the quality of it, these legs, how to change from grill mode to fire pit mode, go back and watch that video. I'll put a card up here in the top right hand corner so that you can see that. But again, I've just got it hooked up to a little 5-pound propane tank. It does have this really nice adjustable regulator, so I can actually control the heat of the flames, the size of the flames and stuff, which is going to be great for cooking. So again, I'm going to cook a couple burgers tonight on it, so I'm going to show you how this functions. Basically, all that you have to do is you put a lighter in this hole right here, and you turn on your propane, you light it up, and then it's going to function just like a normal grill. Now, it does have this nice sort of V-shaped bottom in it that's going to control the heat and sort of disperse it evenly. And then you've got this little grill in here that you can put on top. That's what I'm going to set my burgers on, and I'm going to cook them there. So let's give it a shot and see how it goes. As you can see, we've got some flames in there. It is, greatly controlled. And then the heat goes up through this V-shaped panel. So again, great for cooking on such a small surface. Obviously, that's the only kind of consideration is I can maybe fit my 2 burgers on here and that's about it. So you're not gonna be cooking for a family of 20 on this thing, but if you're solo like I am, it's perfect for just cooking a quick dinner like this. So let me go grab my burgers and we'll get to cooking. All right, so if you can see, there are these little vents that run along here that let the heat out, and I can actually see them turning red and purple and heating up, but that's a good sign. Again, it's keeping the heat consistent, it's spreading it out. I've got a couple of frozen burger patties here, so we're going to throw those on there and we're going to give them a shot and see how this goes. Currently, I have the regulator set between medium and high, so it should be warming up pretty nicely. And then to manage these hamburgers, I'm going to be using my Roxxon spatula / tongs. These things are actually pretty awesome and they're pretty cheap. I will put a link in the description below to both the Ignik and to these things, because these things work great for this little grill. As you can see, they're kind of like a combo fork, spatula, tong. So I can use it to, pick up a burger and flip it over, that kind of thing. So let's give it a minute, let it kind of cook these things, and then we'll be back. So the burgers came out pretty good. One thing to watch out for is, sort of along the edges here. Because of the way that the heat goes up along the sides of the grill, it can burn the edges of the hamburger and leave the middle kind of undone. But I mean, overall, it came out pretty good. I think it looks pretty good. All right, so first bite of the burger. Let's see how this is. It's good. Got a little bit of char on it around the edges, so you do have to watch that a little bit. I probably had it between like medium and high, probably too much. Didn't really think about it. Probably should just start it at low to medium and keep it in that range and just sort of heat it up a little bit slower and then cook it a little bit slower. But it tastes really good. And it took total about 8 to 10 minutes to cook those 2 burgers from start to finish, from like cold to cooked hamburgers, so not too bad. So I'm going to eat these burgers, and then we're going to try it as a fire pit, and we'll see how that goes. Before we lose too much of the light, let's convert this thing from grill mode to fire pit mode. It's actually really, really easy. So they give you this little sort of thingy that you can squeeze, and then you can use it to pick up this grate, because it's hot, because we just cooked hamburgers on it, right? So I'm going to throw it on the ground. So I ended up putting the thing down in these little holes at the bottom and using that to pull that up, and then that exposes your burners down at the bottom. Now, one other cool thing that I did mention in my other video about this thing is that it does have a little drip tray underneath of it, which is kind of cool because there is a little bit of grease. I mean, not a ton. I just cooked 2 burgers, but it does catch that little bit of grease so that you can dispose of it, which is nice. But so now let's fire this thing up and just use it in fire pit mode. So in order to switch it, here's how easy it is. If you watched my last video on it, there is basically a different regulator on each side for each mode. So right now we are on the mode for the grill. So I'm going to put this little cover back on just to protect that plug in. And this plug here is going to be the one that will work for the fire pit mode. Just like on the other side, there is a hole here for lighting it. So I'm going to turn on the regulator to low, and I'm going to put my lighter right there on the edge. Now, if you have a long sort of lighter, that works better sometimes. But so right now we are turned to just past low. If I turn it up to medium, here's medium, and then here's high. So for reference, it does get pretty big. But I mean, like, I'm, 2 or 3 feet away from it. I'm pretty close to it, honestly. But it is putting out a pretty good amount of heat. If I was in winter or something like that and I was sitting by this, it would be perfectly acceptable, perfectly fine from a comfort standpoint, from a heat standpoint. It's putting out a lot of heat, and it's really, really nice. And it does come out the sides quite a bit thanks to these, CNC machined openings in the side, and it gives you a nice little view. It's a really nice looking little fire pit. All right, so now that I've used the Ignik fire pit, right, now that it's been shown in action, cooking food and being used as a fire pit, A+++ from a fire pit standpoint, for sure. Like, it's awesome. It works great. It puts out a ton of heat, puts out a ton of light, as you can see. It's just a really nice, high quality little fire pit that should last for a really long time. For a grill, I'd give it like a B+, A-. Still really good, totally usable if you needed to cook something in a pinch. What I would say is that you just gotta learn how to use it. You gotta learn how to work it a little bit, right? So I turned up the heat really high, made it too hot, then my grease dripped down from my burgers and it started flashing up on the sides, and it kind of crisped the sides of the burger. It cooked the inside, everything was cooked, it was fine, but it was a little bit charbroiled and cooked on the outside. I like mine about medium, but that's a learning thing, right? It's not necessarily the grill's fault, but it is a small sized grill with metal walls on it, so anytime you got any grease that's dripping or anything like that, you're gonna have flare-ups. They're gonna go around that base at the bottom and out the side, so just something to be aware of. Start it lower, keep the temperatures low, and kind of slowly work up. If it's taking too long or it's not cooking, at all because it's too low, then you could always turn it up after the fact. So, but again, awesome little fire pit, and the fact that you can also use it as a grill is amazing. I love it. So hope that was helpful for you. Hope that gives you guys the information you've been dying for finally, that everyone's commented and said, hey, cool, I like that you showed me all the features, but does it work? How does it work? Show me how it works. So now I've showed you how it works. I've cooked food on it. So hopefully that was helpful. If it was, click that like button. In the description down below will be links to all my other social channels. So wherever you want to hang out, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, I'd love to have you come hang out on whichever channels you want. So click through those links and check that out. As I mentioned earlier, I will put links to the Ignik Deluxe on there. I'll put links to my 5-pound propane tank, which I love. I'll put links to the Roxxon spatula thing that I used, which is also awesome. So I'll put links to all the stuff I mentioned in this video down below, so check those out. There's also a link to my website where I've got stickers and patches. So funny overlanding camping style stickers and patches. One that says I hate people so I camp. One that says it's a hot dog and it says don't burn your wiener. That kind of stuff. So if you're into like funny patches and stickers for your gear, for your backpack, for your headliner, for your cooler, for your rig, anything like that, definitely check out that link down below. And then last but not least, there are links to my Patreon page where we have a 24/7 Discord and we all chat about gear and rigs and that sort of thing. And we also have a once a month Zoom call where we all hang out. And then there is the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group. Totally free to join. Over 13,000 members at the time that I recorded this. And it's just awesome. Tons of people from all over the country helping each other out and being a little bit better than the bigger groups, right? Where we take care of each other and we try and help each other out with our questions instead of making fun. So again, if any of that sounds good, check out the links in the description down below. But again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.